Hello friends, it is Nomad Brad coming to you from my box truck. We're doing it big tonight in the home on wheels. I'm excited to have everybody here joining. There's a lot of updates. I just was thinking about it today and I realized it's been 2 weeks since we've shared any box truck progress. And that's because last week was my birthday, and so I did a kind of a different type of video with Larry. That was super fun. Appreciate everybody that came out for that. But now we're back into the box truck build, and I'm excited about it. So I'm gonna go ahead and walk you guys through the progress. There's been a lot of progress actually in a couple weeks. It's really cool to watch it all evolve. I've mentioned it several times, but there reaches a point in your build out where after you get all the the basic stuff out of the way, like the flooring and the insulation and the walls, then it moves pretty quickly. And so that's where we're at right now. We're in the moving quickly phase. I've got quite a bit done even just this week. So I'm going to show you guys everything that's going on. First, I want to give you an update, a little update on what's going on with me personally. I talked to the buyers of my Econo line, and they are going to come pick it up Labor Day, which is next Monday. So not this coming Monday, but the following. So basically, I have a week and a half to get this thing livable, and then the Econo line's out of here, and I'm just going to be living in this box truck. So I'm looking forward to that. I'm ready to move over. And I'm excited for the bigger space, honestly. This thing feels so much bigger than the one I have now. So I'm excited about it. So that's my main focus right now. I'm trying to do all the things that need to be done to make this box truck livable. And from my experience, keep in mind, every time I've built a rig, this is my 5th rig that I'm building out to live in. Every one I've built, I've basically lived in it while I've been building. Now this one's a little different because I'm kind of cheating because I'm living in the Econo line, but I'm going to be in here pretty soon and it's far from finished. So what I've learned is basically as long as you have electricity and a refrigerator and a toilet and then some type of cooking appliance, and a bed, that's really all you need to live, to live in any vehicle really. And so that's what I'm focusing on to get this thing ready to roll. So I've ordered a bunch of stuff. I appreciate you guys, all the gifts that you guys sent from the combination of birthday and 100K subscribers. We're not there yet, but we're on our way. So I appreciate you guys so much for that. I've ordered the toilet. The toilet is coming. That was a couple weeks ago. I see Super Dave in the chat, and I just want to let Super Dave know he doesn't have to worry. I'm putting a huge plaque with his name right on the top of the toilet. So Super Dave's name going on the toilet. That's actually the toilet. I think it already arrived. I think it's over at Dad's place. So I'll be going over to grab that. And then additionally, I ordered the refrigerator. So thank you again, everybody that contributed towards the fridge. That's going to be here next week. So at that point, it'll pretty much be livable. Nomad Dad actually has a mattress for me. They bought a new mattress, one of those mattresses in a box, for their RV while they were up here for the summer. So he's gonna let me use his old mattress until I build get my Murphy bed and figure all that stuff out. So I'll have a mattress. Again, thanks to your donations, I have induction cooktop. And also I have the Wonder Oven. So I'm going to be using those to make food. And then of course the refrigerator and the toilet. So very excited about that. And I saw a couple people in the chat. They were asking about my electrical system. So that's obviously critical, right? So I already have the solar panels on the roof. They're already ran down. And I've just been powering my Blue Eddy Apex 300. That can take quite a bit of solar. I don't remember exactly how much, but I'm sure it could handle 2,000 watts, which is what I have on the roof. Because the Apex 300 is kind of more of like a residential backup. Anyway, So I'm just going to be using the Blue Eddy, and I actually have two Blue Eddies. I have the Apex 300, and then also I have the little AC 200, smaller Blue Eddy. So I actually have two Blue Eddies that I'll be using for the first probably couple of weeks that I'm living in here. And that'll be fine. That'll run the fridge and my cooktop, no problem. Charge my laptop, do all that stuff. Because I'll have the 2,000 watts of solar coming in, so I'll be in good shape. I'll also be able to run the mini split. I think I showed you guys a couple weeks ago. The mini split, I plugged it right into the Blue Eddy. It runs no problem. So I should be able to live pretty comfortably, do everything I need to do with only the Blue Eddy power stations. Now, my plan on the big electrical, Jonathan Rome's in the chat with the info. The Blue Eddy AC300 accepts up to 2,400 watts of solar. Perfect. So I have 2,000, so I'll have no problem pulling all the solar and putting it right into that Blue Eddy, and then also charging up the other one. So the initial plan was I was going to try to rush and get a bunch of Victron equipment to install to get my full electrical system built. However, I got thrown a curveball last week. Blue Eddy reached out to me. Now they have, it's kind of a secret, but I can talk about it. I just can't like show anything. But basically Blue Eddy has developed a all-in-one inverter charger, and it's designed specifically for like RV retrofits and van conversions. And so they're gonna send it to me to test out, and it looks pretty badass. It's 3,000, it might be more than 3,000 watts. I'm not sure exactly. It's at least a 3,000 watt inverter. Plus it has a charge controller built in. Plus it has DC to DC charging built in. So, and additionally, it has a sub panel for all of your 120 volt circuits and also all of your 12 volt circuits. So the plan is, or the way they pitch it is you put the all-in-one inverter on the wall, you just plug in your solar panels, you plug in your batteries, and then you plug in this distribution box, and then all your high voltage and low voltage goes right into the distribution box. So it looks super simple. I think it might be a good solution for a lot of people that want to try to DIY electrical. Because the best thing about it is you don't have to make a bunch of custom cables. You don't have to wire up a bunch of separate charge controllers and bus bars and batteries and fuse holders and on-off switches and disconnects. Everything's built in. So it should be super plug and play. So anyway, I'm going to be testing that out for them. And so that's going to be the first unit that I install in here to make some videos and see how well it works. And then depending how I like it and how it performs, then I might swap it out down the road, you know, for a full Victron system. But the Blue Eddy one looks pretty good. Also, it has a big touch panel that you mount on the wall that shows you all the statistics, your power in and out, all kinds of stuff. So it looks pretty polished. And what's really cool about this Blue Eddy unit is that you can use your own batteries. So my main complaint with all the power stations, even the Apex 300, is that you have to buy the Blue Eddy battery packs. But this all-in-one unit, you can use your own batteries. You don't have to buy their batteries. And you can use either 12 volt or 48 volt batteries, which is pretty badass. So they're gonna send me a pair of their 48 volt batteries to test out with the system. But I could also just use my Epoch batteries that I have retained. So I don't know, it's gonna get crazy. We'll see how it goes. But anyway, that's just a quick update on the electrical. I'm gonna be testing out the Blue Eddy, and then you know, we'll go from there and figure out if I need to do a full Victron system. But I'm excited. I think it might be a good solution for you guys that want to do your own stuff and you don't want to do a bunch of wiring and crimping and heat shrinking. So I think that's it on the updates. I'm going to give you guys a tour and show you the progress. And everyone here in the live stream, you guys get an exclusive peek, because on my published videos that I put out on Sunday, I'm like weeks behind as far as progress goes. So you guys are getting the first glimpse at this box truck. Nobody has seen this progress yet. Even Nomad Dad, he helped out, but he hasn't been here for a couple days, so he hasn't even seen how far along we've gotten. So I'm just going to start right here. We got the birch flooring, and that's going to go all the way down, and the birch flooring will remain birch in color. I saw some comments in the live stream. People were asking about the walls and the white and the birch, and they say it looks like IKEA. So first of all, yes, it might look like IKEA, but a lot of this is going to get painted, and it's going to have different types of paneling on it. So by the time the conversion is done, there will not be this much wood. So it'll be just a touch of birch with a lot of white and other colors. So we got the birch flooring in so far. I got the shower stall in. The opening is only 15 inches. Somebody said it looks like a small door, entry door. It is a small entry door, but guess what? I'm a small entry door type of guy. So it's still, it's not a big deal, right? Get right in. And then once you're in, it's pretty roomy. It's 40 inches long, 24 inches wide. So there's plenty of room in here to scrub up. It's got a tall ceiling on it. I can't even touch the ceiling. I got to put a piece up top still, but so it's tall. It's fairly wide. I'll be able to, soap up pretty easily. And then down here at the bottom, I'm going to have a door cut in with a slide for the toilet. So Adventures with Super Dave's toilet and everybody else that contributed to it 2 weeks ago, it's going to be on a slide. It'll slide out, so you'll be able to sit down, use the toilet, and then slide it back up, use the shower. So here we are. Yeah, entry to the shower is kind of small, but that's kind of how I wanted it anyway. I mean, I don't want to give up a bunch of space for a shower door. Keep in mind, space is limited in a box truck. So you don't get all the space and stuff that you do, in a residential house. And so the other reason, I had to build everything compact. And so, the outside of this shower is my electrical cabinet. So right here, I got my Blue Eddy Apex 300 right now. Eventually that'll be the new Blue Eddy system they're going to send me. And you can see here, I got my solar wires running in from the top coming down. So the plan is this is all going to be electrical down here, batteries and Blue Eddy. And then I'm going to have 3 drawers that slide out. And then I'm going to have a shelf here. I already have one shelf here. And there's going to be another one right here. So there'll be 2 shelves 15 inches tall. And then I have this little shelf at the top that is 10 inches tall. So I wanted the cabinet deep. Just, like the batteries, right? Like my Epoch batteries are like 20 and 3/4 long. And so the electrical cabinet had to be deep enough for those batteries, right? So this whole cabinet here is 22 inches deep. No, I'm sorry. Yeah, 22 inches deep. And then that left me just about 15 inches to have an entryway to the shower. Let me flip this camera around here. Okay. So that's what I did the last couple of days. I built the shower stall, and then I put in this electrical cabinet. And you guys saw the AC install. Nomad Dad came and helped me do the ceiling. So we got the panel board. This is the same ceiling material I have in my current Econoline. It's called nickel gap. So when you look at this stuff at Home Depot, there's like a thinner one. This is the wider stuff. It's about 3 inches wide instead of like 1.5 inches. Anyway, same ceiling in the Econoline. I really like it. And then if you notice, there's only 3 strips of screws that run down the ceiling, same as what I have in the Econoline. And so what I'll do is I'll put a little trim over the screws, a piece of trim that goes all the way down, and then I'm adding LED strip lights on top of the trim. So I'm gonna have 3 rows of LED strip lights going all the way down the box. So So that's pretty exciting. And then this piece right here, I'll tell you what's going on. On the right, this is where the refrigerator is going. So the refrigerator is 43 inches tall. And so I'm setting it on a 19-inch tall base. And so the fridge will basically come right to the bottom of the mini split, couple inch gap. So the fridge is going to be right here. And then over here, this is going to be a countertop, so kind of a prep station. And so you'll be able to grab things out of the fridge, set them on the counter, and then, you know, take them over to the kitchen, kind of do whatever you want. And throughout the whole build, I'm doing tall counters again. The Econoline has bar height countertops. They're about 41 inches tall. And so that's why this looks so tall, but it's going to be the same height as my kitchen. My kitchen's going to be 41. And then also my computer desk. So my computer desk goes right here. That's also going to be 41 inches tall. So that way you can stand up if you want, but also if you get a tall office chair, then you can sit down and do work. So that's the plan. Kitchen is, the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to put the bottom kitchen cabinets in. Well, I take that back. The next thing I'm going to do is put the flooring in. I have one more piece of flooring I have to put poly on. So I'll put down poly, and then I can put the whole floor in. And then after the floor is in, I'm going to start building the bottom kitchen cabinets, because the issue I'm facing now is I need to live in this thing, and I have to empty out my Econoline. It's full of stuff. So I need places to put everything. And because this is gonna be my daily driver, I can't just have stuff sprawled out all over. It's gotta be in boxes, packed away, secured, so it doesn't just fly around when I'm driving. So that's part of the reason I did the cabinet. I'm gonna add one more shelf and then put the doors on, so I can put all my tools in here, lock it up when I drive. And then I'm gonna do the bottom half of the kitchen counters so I can stack boxes of stuff over here. And then on this side, I have my computer desk. It comes down about 45 inches. And then next to it, I'm doing a full length floor to ceiling closet. So I'm also going to work on building out the closet as well. So this is all stuff I'm gonna try to do. I mean, I'm working pretty fast, honestly. I did all this basically in 2 days, which is pretty crazy. So I shouldn't have any problem getting the lower cabinets and the closet built, not completed, but built before I let the Econoline go. So that'll give me the ability to kind of put up all my miscellaneous stuff and take care of it. Someone's asking about the roll-up door. I'll tell you a funny story. I put the ceiling in, and the roll-up door is all funky. It's like, you know, it ain't quite right, but it's hitting on the ceiling panel in the corner. So basically, that's as much as I can open my box truck door until I replace it. So it's all good. I ain't worried about it. You know, it's going to be fine. But just to let you guys know where I'm at, I'm not going to be able to open my door anymore until I replace it. And so the plan is to go down to see Suron Dave in San Diego and have him help me with the door, with the roll-up door. Put the, you know, the fold up, fold down on it. That's the plan. All right, let me hop on the chat here, see what's going on. If you guys have any questions, if you guys asked questions earlier and you want them answered, drop them in the chat again. That way I don't have to go back and look at everything. Just post them again and I'll take questions now. By the way, I started out kind of abruptly. I didn't get to shout out everybody that joined, but I appreciate everyone who's here. I saw a bunch of regulars. We got Super Dave in the chat. We got E-Bike Van Life. We got AJ Scoggins from Lake Havasu. Box Truck Crew. AJ also installs solar. If you need solar in Havasu, AJ is your man. If you need solar in San Diego, Sir on Dave is your man. Sir on Dave does electrical now. I mean, he's done electrical on 2 box trucks, so he's certified. Anyway, so if you need solar in San Diego, Sir on Dave is your man. We got RVing with Bandit here. We got Jonathan Romes. Hello, Jonathan Romes. By the way, I found Jonathan Romes on YouTube. YouTube suggested your video, Jonathan. So I saw the truck you're building out with the lift gate on it, and looks pretty badass, man. I'm happy for you. Congratulations. Marcus Allen's in the chat. Thunderbird's in the chat. We got the #1 OG supporter, Miss Diana Saylor, Kansas City, Missouri. Missouri. Hello, Diana. Happy to have you here. Diana says, what's the thickness of insulation in the floor? The floor is 1-inch insulation, and I'm happy with that. The Econoline has 3/4 of an inch insulation, and it's pretty good. So I figured 1 inch would be fine. And I'm not, living in cold climates. And additionally, I want as much ceiling height as possible, right? So that's why I'm trying to keep everything, as minimal, just so that I can have a big living space, big ceilings. Okay, hope that helps, Diana Saylor. Let's see what else we got. RVing with Bandit says, can't wait to see the Super Dave toilet. It's a good one, brother. It's a good one. Thunderbird says, shower will save you time and trouble. I agree. I've been living without a shower for 7 years, just relying on Planet Fitness and friends and stuff. And so it's time. I get too dirty when I'm doing solar installs. I have to have a shower with me. So it's time. I have a shower now. I am going to be under box storage. So somebody asked about putting like my Epoch batteries down there. I totally could. That's definitely a possibility. So I am going to be adding anywhere that there's space down below, which there's still going to be quite a bit, even after my water tanks. But any open space I have, I'm putting in boxes. And I'm going to find a welder. I met a guy in Yuma that was a welder. So I'm going to have somebody fab me up a bunch of storage boxes. It'll be nice. But that'll be a good spot to store batteries, and then also all my like truck stuff, like my jack and my big breaker bar, like tarps, all that kind of, leveling blocks, all that kind of stuff. It's good to store that outside. So that's the plan. Montel Will says, shower door small, Brad don't like thick girlfriends, I guess. That's how it came out, man. I built the truck for myself, so unfortunately, if you're large and in charge, you ain't going to be showering in here. Sorry. Faces in the Stone says, just found you. Got a bunch of ideas off your shuttle bus build. Thanks, man. Happy to hear it. Happy the videos are helping out. Geek with social skills says, looks great. Thank you, Geek. I appreciate you. We got Will Schultz here. Curious what the plan is for the roll-up door in the back. That's the $1 million question. I'm just copying everybody else. I'm doing the fold up. The top, basically, the rear door is going to be just cut in probably like a 60-40 split. The top 40% will lift up like the rear, like a canopy on a pickup truck. It'll lift up, and then the bottom 60% will fold forward and give me a deck space. I first saw that with Wanderbox. Mark from Wanderbox figured that out several years ago. And then Sir on Dave just did one on his Kodiak, and it looks pretty good. So that's what I'm going to do, and that's why I want to go to San Diego to visit. I should call him E-Bike Van Life. That's his YouTube channel. That's why I want to go to San Diego to visit E-Bike Van Life, because he just did it. So he's got it fresh in his mind. He knows how to do it. I could probably figure it out, but I'd rather have help from somebody that just did it. And there's definitely a technique to it. And I was talking to him on the phone, and he already has some like improvements from his design that he would implement. So definitely good if you can to get help from someone who's done it before. So that's my plan. Another question, when does the back door get converted? Not until I go to San Diego. So what are we in now? August? Maybe end of September. I'm trying to be realistic here. I still got a lot of projects to do before I can leave, but I'm making good progress. Like things are flying now. So I'm thinking probably end of September I could be in San Diego. Geek with Social Skills says, look like you can get 1 to 2 more inches for the shower door. Well, keep in mind I don't have closet doors on the electrical cabinet yet. So the electrical cabinet, the closet doors are going to add 3/4 of an inch, and then on the opposite side, over here, I wanted to have at least a couple inches when I did that cutout because I was worried if I went too thin, it might break. And so I wanted to have it strong enough that it wouldn't break on me. So that's where we ended up, 15-inch shower door. I'm sure from here until the end of time, I will hear people commenting that I have a small shower door. Let's see. Thunderbird says, have you thought about using a storage space until the box truck is closer to being completed? Oh, yeah, I thought about it. So right now here in Sholo, I'm on a friend's property, so I have some stuff stored outside. Also, I have some stuff at Nomad Dad's place. He's got a little summer spot at an RV park, so I got a bunch of stuff at his place. I thought about a storage unit, but honestly, once I take everything out of the Econoline and box it up and it stacks up, it's all gonna fit in these kitchen cabinets pretty easily. Between the kitchen cabinets and the closet and the electrical cabinet, everything will fit without issue. Travis History says, why not put a fold down door on the back for a large deck? I just answered that. I'm definitely going to do that. Sally Berry says, are you still putting a window facing the cab? I decided not to do a window. I was going to do a window in the front facing the cab. I decided not to. I was talking with my dad about it, and his concern was if I'm driving and a rock flies up and hits it, it's going to shatter. And so, all those trailer windows and stuff I buy, they're like a safety glass, but a rock could still break it. And so, I could probably get one of those polycarbonate windows, but that still might shatter. So I don't know. I just decided not to do it. I can add one later if I want to. But I am putting security cameras all around the truck. So honestly, I think with the security cameras, I'm going to be just fine. I don't think I'll need a window in the back. But if I decide I want one later, I can absolutely add one. I am going to have one big window, 36 inches by 22 inches, on the passenger side at my computer desk. And then another big one on the driver's side at the kitchen. And then I'm going to have a smaller one right above my bed because I like to open my window at night and let the fresh air come in. So I'll have 2 windows on the driver's side. And then the rear, the upper part of the rear door is going to have a huge, massive window in it. I don't know. I'll see how big one I can get, but it's going to be monster window in the back. So I think I'm going to have plenty of windows in here. Plus with the security cameras, should be good. Questions coming through. Diana Sailor, I answered your question on the flooring insulation. It's 1 inch. 1 inch of rigid XPS foam. Francis says, would you let us see your van when you visit San Diego? Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I'll do a meetup. I'll do a meetup when I come into San Diego. And then also, I'll do a meetup this winter in Phoenix. So, and then I'll probably be back and forth in San Diego this winter. So there'll probably be multiple chances in San Diego if you guys want to check out the rig. And then also I'll be in Phoenix, and then I'll be out at Schoolie Palooza. So if you guys want to come out to that, that's a great event. And I'll have tours out there as well. Bella's asking, are you taking the Instant Pot with you, or are you buying a new one? I'm bringing it with me. That Instant Pot is a champion. I've had it since day one. It's been 7 years I've been using the same Instant Pot. So I'm going to keep that thing going until it absolutely stops working. And so far, it still works perfect. All the features work. There's no weird hiccups with it. I mean, it's been, that's probably the only thing I own that I have owned since my first vehicle conversion. Super nice piece of equipment. Sophia says, how about electrical wiring? What about it? I'm going to do all the wiring inside the cabinets. So nothing's going behind the wall because I want to be able to access the wiring, change it, add to it. You know, I'm sure I'll be making improvements as I go. I'll be adding outlets and fixtures and lighting, all kinds of stuff. So I didn't want to put stuff in the wall because that limits you. Once it's in the wall, that's it. You can't change it. And so I'm putting, basically everything's going to go above the overhead cabinets and then it'll come down. When you guys see it, it'll look good. It's not going to be ugly. It's all going to be hidden and disguised and it'll look good. But that's what's up with the electrical. Oh man, I think I'm way behind on the chats. Oh, here we go. Okay, so HBA Dave is here. He changed his username. It is now Majapor's Beard. I don't know if I said that right. Majapor's Beard. That's what I'm guessing. But that's HBA Dave. Happy to have you here, Dave. I don't recognize the new name, but now I do. EMW Music says, hanging out in the new build like life's a birch. Yeah, I know. There's so much birch in here. Max says, what brand are the slides you wear? They look super comfortable. These are my safety sandals. These guys right here. I started calling them my safety sandals because people gave me crap for walking around on the roof with them. But they're super comfortable and they're really grippy. It's like a really soft rubber on the bottom. So even though, I mean, your foot could slip out of the sandal, but the sandal itself, it's pretty grippy and they slip. The only problem is if you look at it, if you see all that white around the outside, so what happened is I left these out in the sun for like 2 days and the inner, like the sole piece shrunk and all the glue released. So I had to re-glue them. This was actually this was a me and Nomad dad project when I first got up here to Sholo. But otherwise they're good. I don't know what brand they are. All the labels wore off. But honestly, I bought these for like 20 bucks at TJ Maxx. So it's nothing fancy. You can find these things all over the place. But I like to go to TJ Maxx or Ross and you get good deals on this stuff. My safety sandals. What do we got? Life of Pi. What recommendations do you have for someone who has never built anything in their life and wants to be a van lifer? That's a good question. I've covered this before, but my recommendation is buy a shuttle bus. Because with a shuttle bus, all the windows are in place, the door is in place. When I built my shuttle bus out like 4 years ago now, I left the original flooring, I left the ceiling, I left the walls. All I did is I built a basic sink cabinet and a bed platform. So that's what I'd recommend. In fact, you don't have to build anything. Because of how big a shuttle bus is, you can use a regular bed frame and you can use like a regular sink cabinet from Home Depot. You can put in a regular chair. So that's what I would suggest. If you get a shuttle bus, you really don't have to build hardly anything if you don't want to. Or if you do want to build, it's pretty simple to do it. The Found Image is asking about Murphy bed or drop-down mattress. I'm doing a Murphy bed in the very back. I debated a lot about an electric elevator versus a Murphy bed. My priority is to have tall ceilings. And so if I do an elevator bed, I'm going to lose about a foot of ceiling height. By the time you figure mattress height plus bed platform thickness plus you have your blankets and stuff on the bed, you lose about a foot of ceiling height. And I don't want that. So I'm doing a Murphy bed. That's the plan. Also, when I do the strip lighting, you know, all the way across the ceiling, if I had an elevator bed, when the bed goes up, it blocks off all that lighting. So you would lose like 5 feet of ceiling lighting when the bed is up. So that didn't, I don't know, I didn't really like that idea. Jay Stewart says, truck's looking good. Thank you, Jay. I appreciate the support. Karen Morris says, it's looking awesome. Do you install solar on vans in Arizona? I do, but not right now. I'm busy building out my own home. So honestly, I'm not going to be taking on any jobs. I appreciate you guys reaching out. I've had some people reach out on Instagram. Some people send me emails. I'm not taking on any solar jobs until maybe winter, like maybe December, January. That's like the soonest. I gotta get this thing ready for myself first before I can help other people. So that's the plan. But in general, yes, I do install solar on vans in Arizona. Rob Dean says the evolution of the box. Leave it to Brad to use a mix of ideas to make a truck home. Yeah, thanks, Rob. Yeah, over all my years of building, each time when I first did a build out, I had just remodeled my house, right? That I sold to live in a van. I went backwards. And so I just remodeled an entire house. So I took a lot of home building concepts into my box truck. That's why I use a lot of white and I like a modern contemporary look. And I use a lot of materials and products that are unconventional because I'm looking at residential house type of furnishings. Versus a lot of people that build out vehicles, they go directly to like the RV industry and van industry, and so they're just using different stuff. Not that there's anything wrong with that, but I definitely just have a different approach to it, and I like it. I'm super happy with how it's turned out. I think the last box truck looks awesome. DWY says, what color are you going with on the outside of your vehicle? It's gonna be pretty much the same. It's gonna be majority is gonna be white as it is now. It's gonna have black on the lower section. It'll be all blacked out. The storage boxes will be black. The bumpers are already black. And then I'll do a similar logo, just like an orange band with my company logo on it. So it'll basically look very similar to what I've done now. I like the orange. Sorry guys, I have like a seed in my teeth. It's driving me crazy. Yeah. So yeah, some orange, mostly white and black. Tekarak is here. He says if Blue Eddy sends their EP line, Victron might be a downgrade. Not sure if it supports DC to DC. Yeah, I don't know anything about this Blue Eddy product. They sent me like some really rough like description on it. It's a brand new product. In fact, I have to wait to get it because it's literally coming from China. They don't even have them in the US yet. It doesn't release until October. So I don't know much about it, but from what I can tell, it looks like a really good device. And the fact that you can use your own batteries means you can still add on other stuff, right? So, the all-in-one unit, it has a built-in charge controller, inverter, DC charger. But if you wanted to add a different alternator charger or a different charge controller, you could still add that on and hook it up to your battery since it uses just a regular aftermarket battery. So that's what's cool about it, You could also add a secondary fuse holder. So it still gives you a lot of capabilities. So we'll see what happens. I might not need the Victron system after all. Well, we're going to find out together. Pete Davis says, I just wanted to say hi. I'm a fan. Caught this at the last minute. Hello, Pete Davis. Happy to have you here. #1 fan. Thank you, Pete Davis. Welcome to the live stream. We're talking about box trucks. No surprise there. Rob Dean says, way to think inside the box. I appreciate it, Rob Dean. Geek with Social Skills is asking about windows. When are the windows going in? Honestly, at this point, the windows are not a priority for me living in here. So probably in a couple weeks. I already have one that somebody got me for my birthday. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. And so I do have one window ready to go. So I'll probably install that one in the next couple weeks. I'm not sure which one I'm not sure where I'm gonna put it. If I'm gonna put it over above my desk here or in the kitchen, I'm not sure where, but I do have one window ready to go. RVing with Bandit says, I think I just got a membership from the Phoenix. Oh, did the Phoenix gift you a membership? Oh yeah, the Phoenix, no, the Phoenix I am got joined up as a silver member, but maybe they gifted you one, yeah. Question about the bed. Will the Murphy bed also be a storage cabinet? No. No, the Murphy bed, when the Murphy bed folds up, there's no room for anything besides the mattress and blankets inside. So the Murphy bed will not be a storage cabinet. I've seen some stuff online, some different style Murphy beds that are kind of a cabinet, but they're a little larger than the space I have available. So it's going to be a pretty stripped down, basic Murphy bed. Johnny Blaze, have you thought about heated floors? Yeah, I don't need heated floors. I think if you're going to be living in cold climates, if you're going to be like up in the mountains skiing and stuff, heated floors might be nice. But you know, I've been in this van down below freezing temperatures, and it's not that cold. So I don't need them. Don't need heated floors. Um, did you ever find out what type of security system Wanderbox has? Wanderbox has Reolink. That's the brand. Oh yeah, he did tell me what he got. Where is that? I think it's on my phone. Let's see. Let me see if I can find it. He did send me the info. So I thought he had one of the motorized ones. Here we go. It's the Argus. Reolink Argus. Argus 4K. So what's interesting is, you know, when I was looking at security cameras, I just automatically assumed I would want the one that rotates so I could get like a really good field of view. But the ones Wanderbox has, it's a fixed position camera, but it has basically two cameras pointed out at like a 45-degree angle. And then the program stitches those two cameras together. So basically with one fixed camera assembly, you get like a 170-degree field of view, which is awesome. So I think Super Dave, I'm sorry, not Super Dave, E-Bike Van Life also has Reolink cameras, and I think he has something similar. It looks like it's a fixed unit and then like one camera on each side. So that's probably what I'll use. I'll put one in the back and one in the front. And I think I'll probably do four of them. I'll probably do one in the back, one in the front, and then one on each side. And that should give me almost a 360 view of the perimeter. And I do like that idea. I was a little concerned that the camera that's on a gimbal that moves, I was concerned that like driving down the freeway at 70 miles an hour and wind and bugs, I was concerned it might damage, and plus all the bouncing, I was concerned it might damage the motor section. So I think I would rather have a fixed position camera. So that's what I'm gonna do. Brad is asking if I got a computer monitor station figured out. Not yet. I'm just gonna wait until I build out this section, and I gotta look again at how big my window is, how big my workspace is. Oh man, I got a nose hair. And then I gotta figure out, it's possible that I might have room to have just a wall mounted monitor right next to my window. I'll put it on like a swing arm so I can swing it out. But I might be able to just have the monitor side by side with my window, and then it doesn't really matter. That was the reason I wanted to have a motorized monitor so I could put it right in front of the window, but that might not be how things work out. So stay tuned. We'll find out together. That's one thing about like when I build my vehicles, my box trucks, I do an initial plan, but then I don't like stick to it solid, right? Once I get in and I start like measuring and figuring out, what's available, how the space feels, I make adjustments. And so it's one of those things where, when it comes to the computer desk workstation, that'll be a whole project. And so I'll just kind of work on it, see where the window can fit, take measurements, plan it out. And so I'll figure out a plan at that time. E-Bike Van Life says, I love the rear door. It's my favorite feature. I use it consistent, constantly. Yeah, I believe it, E-Bike Van Life. Before he had a roll-up door, and he always had the roll-up door open, right? But the downside of the roll-up door is it opens from the bottom. So if you want to crack the rear door at all, you got to open it up, and then anybody or any animal that's outside can just hop up in your rig. If you're backed up to the beach, some dog can just run up in there. But with the fold up drop down deck, you can just open that hatch and you got a full field of view, but you still have, I don't know, like 3 feet of door on the bottom that's kind of separating you from the outside. So I definitely think that's the way to do it, is with that split fold rear door. Marcus Allen says, be careful with the giant spring on that door. Yeah, I agree. I removed the one in my Econoline. I just cut the wires from the outside with a grinder, and the whole thing just spooled up and went crazy. But I was outside. I had the door closed, so I was safe, but it was pretty violent. So when I go to San Diego, Dave's going to help me with that. He has the tool to do it. You need two people, and you need like a long, like a pry bar or something that you can put in to manually do it. It's a whole process, but I think E-Bike Van Life is going to help me with that. Pocket door for the shower would be cool. Yeah, I haven't really planned out the door yet, but I'm gonna do some type of a sliding door. It's gonna be on the inside of the shower, right? That's the best way to get a tight water seal. So I'll just have some type of a door inside on tracks that'll slide and then keep the water inside the shower. But that'll be pretty easy. I'm not worried about it. I won't even get to that till probably the end of winter. Like the shower is the least of my concerns. So I won't be doing that anytime soon. E-Bike Van Life says PPF film over the glass would help. Oh, that's a good idea. He's talking about for the front window, because I was worried about it shattering. Yeah, I could try like a clear film maybe. And I might just do it, right? I mean, worst case, I get a rock that flies up and it shatters the window, and then I just, duct tape the window until I can replace it. So it wouldn't be the end of the world. We'll see. We'll see what happens. That's going to be later down the road, but I might decide I want to cut it out, or I might put something else up there. I might put my Wonder Oven up there or something. Who knows? I might not even need a window. We'll find out. Diana Sailor says, where will you store your e-bike? I'm going to put it on my passenger seat again. That's what I did in my last box truck. This cab is so much larger. It's massive. So it was kind of tight in the Econoline, but it's going to have plenty of room in here. So I have the folding e-bike. I'm just going to throw it on the passenger seat. It's not like the best place for it, but I'm not going to give up any living space for an e-bike. That's not a priority for me. I might do some type of a rear e-bike hauler. E-Bike Van Life is trying to figure out something to do to haul his bike. So I might do something off the back. If I can, what I would want to do is have some type of an e-bike carrier that would either fold down or swing out so that I could still lower the rear deck without having to remove the e-bike. So I'm sure it can be figured out. But that would be ideal, would be to put it on the back. Shower window. Someone's asking about a shower window. The bathroom's going to have a huge vent fan in it. I'm using a regular residential shower exhaust fan with an LED light, so that's going to suck out all the moisture. No window in the shower. Ubiquitous Nomad says, happy belated birthday. Random lifestyle question. Do you do keto? And does all the work movement you do keep you fit? I eat super clean, just in general. I basically just eat beef and eggs and a few different assorted vegetables. That's basically all I eat. Apple, some fruits, obviously, right? I eat like carrots, bell peppers, onions, tomatoes, apples, oranges, watermelon, any kind of seasonal fruit. I like fruit a lot. But basically, fruit and meat is what I eat. Ooh, that rhymes. Fruit and meat is what I eat. I don't know if that's keto or not. But I try to avoid grains, wheat, sugar, anything that's like processed, anything in a package. Now, I'm not super rigid about it, right? Sometimes I'll just buy a package of cookies and I'll just plow through the whole thing. So I think the key really with any type of like lifestyle, healthy lifestyle or diet is you're not super rigid or strict to it. So if you keep like a general guideline and then occasionally you cheat and sometimes I'll have a soda. But other than that, I'm super happy with beef and eggs and then some fruits and vegetables. It fills me up. I eat usually 2 big meals a day and that's it. E-Bike Van Life wants to make a schoolie. Look at that. He's got the build. He's itching to do more building. The Nomad Tim says, Brad, you know you're getting popular when others start making videos about you. Some guy's video popped up about your YouTube channel statistics. Oh, interesting. Yeah, I haven't seen that. But I believe it. Man, I'm way behind the chat, guys. I'm way behind the chat. I talk too much, I guess. Geek with social skills. What about your knife with the orange handle? I have a knife with a red handle, and then I have a knife with a white handle. I'm bringing both those with me to the new vehicle. Are you going to make your home look like a company vehicle again? Absolutely. Yeah, I think that's key to stealth, is make it look like a commercial vehicle. Arvine with Bandit says, San Diego started cracking down on people parking overnight in Mission Bay. I would say be careful where you get your information from. I know there's been some news stories that showed cops giving tickets, but I have at least 5 Nomad friends in San Diego right now, and nobody's having problems. Cousin Lonnie is in San Diego right now. So, you know, I don't know. I think it's the same it's always been, right? The police are busy. They got a lot of stuff to worry about. And it seems like once in a while they'll come through and write tickets, but then they move on to murders and robberies and, you know, all the like serious crime. So, you know, I don't think we're really high on their list of priorities. But I know the news talks about it. The news is like they're cracking down, but everybody I've talked to says it's fine. E-Bike Van Life says, I haven't been harassed in over a month. Phil says, Nomad Dad is a rock star for laying on the ground and helping you with your heat shield. Yes, Nomad Dad is a rock star. I really appreciate his help. I was planning to do this build myself. I built my last box truck by myself in Texas at my friend's ranch. And man, I'm so glad I had Nomad Dad's help on this one. I was telling him, I don't know how I did that last build out on my own. because there's a lot, so many things that I've done on this box truck have been two-man jobs. So I'm really grateful for his help. Happy it worked out that he's here, I'm here, we could work together. He's only 10 minutes away from me. And when I go down to Yuma this winter, he'll be there to help out. He's going to help me with the epoxy, all the custom epoxy countertops. He's going to help with that and all kinds of work. So happy to spend time with him. And he's a good worker. He taught me how to work and gave me a good work ethic and taught me a lot of skills and stuff. So I'm happy to have him around, not just for help, but also for ideas. You know, we bounce ideas off each other. And sometimes he'll come up with a solution for something I'm trying to do that's like way more simple and way better than what I'm trying to do. So happy to have his input. Cake is asking if the wall is paneling or plywood. The wall is plywood. It's 1/2 inch birch plywood, but it's pre-finished. So it has a UV coated finish on it. So it's ready to go. It looks like paneling, but it's thick like plywood. So it's strong. You can screw stuff into it. All right, I'm cruising through the chat. I'm trying to catch up. Question about my rig. Are you going all electric? Yes, no propane, all electric. Water heater is going to be electric. Free energy from the sun. I don't want to fill propane tanks. No reason for it. What's your shoe size? I'm an 11. RVing with Bandit. RV stuff is pricey. Oh, we got a super chat from Melody Hart. Money for the TJ Maxx budget. Thank you, Melody. I appreciate it. I also buy my cooking spices from TJ Maxx, honestly. They have some really good seasonings. Low price, good quality. Desert Runner Rick in the house. Did you get the fridge on Amazon? Yes. Angela, thank you. She donated to it. Yes, I got the fridge on Amazon. You guys stepped up and sent me a bunch of birthday gift list cards, and so I had enough to buy the fridge. So the fridge is 100% sponsored by you guys, by the subscribers, and I appreciate it. And you guys are all getting your names in the countertop. King Gamer reached out to me. He's been absent because he's working. He's working a ton right now. He's saving up. He's got money to buy a box truck, but he's hustling to keep saving for the build out. And so he missed the live stream and the birthday wish list. It was only up for like 3 days before it all got bought up. And he really wanted to be on the countertop, so I let him slide in. So we're going to have Nomad King Gamer's name on the countertop as well. All right, I'm just gonna cut down. I'm gonna cut down to the end of the chat because there's way too much. What's the most recent questions? We got a countertop reverse osmosis thing. Oh yeah, I have a water filtration system. That was on my Amazon list. Somebody got it for me. I appreciate it. It's either a 3 or a 4-stage water filter. It has the canisters, so I will be filtering all my water, which is nice because like when I go to San Diego, I just fill up from their, hose spigots. I've never had a problem. I drank it all last summer, but it'll just be nice to have a 3-way filtration on that. Ico Libre says, how do you plan to manage your water supply? What does that mean? I don't understand what that means. How do you plan to manage it? In my old rig, I had a 30-gallon freshwater, and that would last me about a week and a half before I had to refill it. On this one, I'm going to do a 75-gallon, so I'm going to have over twice the water capacity, so that'll probably last me 3 weeks. I don't know. I just try to conserve, be conservative. Glad you got the fridge. Thank you, Angela. I appreciate it. What do monthly expenses look like? I just talked about this last week. About 1,300 bucks a month is what I spend when I'm like actively being a nomad. Like right now, I'm hardly driving at all, so my fuel budget is way down. But overall, with fuel and food and insurance and cell phone and Starlink and YouTube subscription and all the little parts and pieces, about $1,300 a month is what it costs me to live, which is pretty darn good. And that includes my housing, of course, the vehicle. How about making a rack on the front? How about making a rack to mount the front wheel of the bike to the bumper and tow it? I don't think so. I've seen that done before, but no. I've seen that done with motorcycles. What's your opinion on security cameras? I already covered that, but I'm going to use Reolink. That's the brand. And my friend Mark from Wanderbox uses the Argus 4. I think it's the 4. Argus 4K by Reolink. That's the camera I'm going to be using. It's wireless. Actually, I think it's wireless, but honestly, I would prefer to find one that's not wireless because the wireless one, well, I want to hardwire the power. I don't want to have to mount because the one Mark has, you have to mount a small solar panel next to each camera, and that seems ridiculous to me. So I want to do a hardwired connection, and so I'm considering if I can find one that's PoE, which stands for Power over Ethernet. All you have to do is you run one Ethernet cable to each camera, and that powers the camera, and it also sends the footage back to your main hub. And then from the hub, you can like log in with your phone and check the footage. So I want to get a PoE camera. I don't know if I know Reolink makes them. I just have to research and see which one it is. I'd love to see maintenance factored into living expenses. Yeah, I mean, vehicle maintenance, it's not a lot, guys. It's really not. I mean, you change the oil once every couple months, and then every few months, you're like fixing something. It seems like every 4 months or so, you're like, there's something going on, but it's not that crazy. This Econoline, it had a lot of issues with it that stemmed from me not being able to get the proper diagnosis on what the problem was. If I could have had it diagnosed properly, I could have had it fixed right away and no other issues. But other than that, figure a few $100 on parts, repair parts every few months. That's about, but it's not a monthly expense. You could average it out, you could average it out over the year, but there's really not that much extra maintenance or expense on these rigs. Oh, e-bike van life says the solar cable from the Argus is a USB-C. Yeah, maybe I can get a hardwire kit. That's what I want to do. I want to run everything off my main power system. Jay Studios says he had Reolink PoE cameras. That's what I want to get, PoE. Does that include health insurance? I don't have health insurance. I've been self-employed for over 10 years. I haven't had health insurance. By the way, I don't know if you guys are watching all the TikToks on health insurance lately, but health insurance ain't what it used to be. There's a lot of people that are getting their claims denied. And what's interesting is if you go to a hospital for treatment and you don't have insurance, there's a reduced rate that they give you as an uninsured person. And sometimes the reduced rate that you pay as an uninsured person could be less than what the insurance, what the insurance charges you, especially if you consider an insurance premium. So I don't have health insurance. I have car insurance. So if I get into a car accident, my medical bills are covered. but I don't have health insurance otherwise. But a lot of people don't have health insurance. A lot of small business owners don't have health insurance, even people living in houses. I'm not interested in spending, you know, 500, 600. I mean, I haven't gone to a doctor in 10 years. You know, imagine if I spent $500 a month on health insurance for 10 years. I'd be sick to my stomach thinking about all that money I just flushed down the toilet. JVC says, I came across your Econoline 3 days ago. Sad it's too late to buy it. I'm glad you found a buyer. Maybe I'll buy this one in a few years when you upgrade. There you go. Yeah, thanks for reaching out, man. I've had a lot of interest in the Econoline this last month. So, yeah, appreciate you guys. I wish I had more to sell, but I only have one. Eunice Duncan says cash price can be way lower at the ER. Yeah, I'm not sold on health insurance, guys. It's kind of crazy. In fact, I just saw a video today from a doctor that was saying people think that the big hospital bills are for the service, like for the doctor, but a lot of times the big hospital bills, it's just overhead for the insurance companies. So this doctor on TikTok was saying he did a surgery for a client. The client submitted insurance. Insurance valued the procedure at $170,000. But the doctor that did the surgery only received $3,000. That's all the doctor charged for the procedure. So 170,000 to 3,000. I know that's an extreme example, but I think health insurance is kind of scammy. I mean, for those of you that have it for free, good for you. You know, if you have a job that has insurance and if you're in a union, whatever, my dad has great health insurance. I mean, good on you guys. I'm not trying to shame you. But if you don't have health insurance, it's pretty expensive. And I'm not interested in that. Also, I haven't been to a doctor in 10 years. What am I going to do with health insurance? You probably qualify for affordable care health insurance. Why do I need affordable? I don't need health insurance. I don't get this misinformation. He's triggered. I pay $4 a month. I'm happy for you. Congratulations. There you go. You can get so if you guys want health insurance for cheap, you can get affordable care health insurance. There you go. $4 a month. Are you selling a diesel heater? No, I don't have a diesel heater. Oh, installing. Yes, I am installing a diesel heater. I had a company reach out to me that's going to send me one. It's like in a suitcase. And so I'm actually going to install it outside underneath the box. It looks like a pretty cool unit. And then I'm just going to cut a hole in the floor for the supply and the return air. So in the past, I've always had my diesel heaters like down, you know, inside the van. But I thought since this one's in like a nice sealed up case, I'll just mount it outside. EMW Music. How did we get caught up in health insurance? I took the bait. I don't know. Somebody asked what health insurance I have. I don't have health insurance. Doesn't the hold on 10 says, doesn't the mini split provide heat? Yes, it does. Absolutely. Yeah. So the mini split is also a heater. So I'll try it out. I tried it on my current box truck that I'm living in, and I didn't like it because I don't know why, but for some reason all the heat would just kind of hang out up high. And so when you're walking around in the box, if you have the thermostat set to like 75, your head and shoulders are hot, and then your chest and waist is lukewarm, and then your knees and your feet are freezing. So the hot, I guess because hot air rises and the output is up high. So the hot air basically just comes out, swirls around, and then it loops back up into the top of the system. So I really don't think a mini split is ideal for heating. It's great for air conditioning because in the heat, when it's hot inside, all the hot air rises, it gets sucked into the unit and cooled down, and then the cool air blows down through. We got a nice sunset right now. So I think a mini split is better for cooling, but I'll try it for heating. We'll see how it works. But that's why I like a diesel heater, because the diesel heater, the vent is down at the floor and it's a hot, hot heat like a furnace in a house. It's really toasty warm. So I'm just gonna do a diesel heater. And honestly, I don't even use my diesel heater that much. I'm gonna show you guys the sunset. But, it's just me living in the box truck. And so, if it's cold, I put on a sweatshirt and I put on sweatpants and I put on socks. I don't need to walk around in a 75-degree room in shorts and a t-shirt when it's wintertime. I was never raised that way. Look at that sunset. It's beautiful. Big cloudy sky. Awesome. Part of it, right? Part of me, and the reason I think I fit into this lifestyle well, is I was raised on a farm, and so I was just raised to like be conservative with your usage of stuff, and you don't run the heater a lot. You don't run the AC a lot. You kind of bundle up or dress down, and it's kind of like just a minimalist mentality. I'm not saying everybody needs to be like that, but that's just how I operate. So like if it's hot, I start taking off clothes, and I'll be in my box truck in underwear and no t-shirt before I turn on the air conditioner. That's just the way I am. And then in the wintertime, if it's cold, I put on sweatpants and socks and a hoodie. And if I'm still cold, then I put on the heater. But when I was a heating and cooling technician for 10 years, I would go in people's houses when it was 100 degrees outside, and they'd have the air conditioner set for 70 degrees, and they'd be wearing shorts and a hoodie. They'd be wearing a hoodie inside their house in the summer with the AC blowing. Like, why wouldn't you just turn down the air conditioning and save energy? It doesn't make any sense. And the same with like the heat in the winter, right? People in a house, they crank it up to 75 in the winter and they're walking around in shorts and a t-shirt, which I guess that's fun and comfortable, but you could just put on sweatpants and a sweatshirt. I don't know. That's just me though. I guess I'm just an old farm man, so that's just how I roll. Nomadic Dreams says, gorgeous view, hard to get perfect sunsets in the forest. Yes. Yeah, we have beautiful sunsets in Arizona. I absolutely love them out here. John C. says, Nomad Brad, with the Gen X way of living, sweatshirts, long pants, don't rob the heater or AC. That's just how I was raised. It's how I live. I'm comfortable with it. Nonia734 says, it's 65 in my home wearing sweaters. There you go. We're on the same page. I kind of like it too because it kind of, you get a sense that you're more a part of the natural earth cycles, right? Like when it's hot and you're, in your underwear with no shirt on, you're feeling the heat, not uncomfortable, but it's warm. And so you're in like summer mode. And then in the wintertime, when it's cold and windy and rainy outside and you bundle up with like a hoodie and a blanket, I kind of like that vibe. I like the seasons. I kind of like to feel that I'm living with the seasons. So I don't know. It's kind of comforting to me. Karen Morris says, I'm at $12.50 a month with lot rent in my new R-Pod full time. And I go out every weekend here in Tucson. Awesome. Happy to hear it, Karen. Yeah, I want to come visit Tucson again this winter. I'm planning to go over. I want to visit Tucson, Patagonia, Bisbee, a bunch of other little towns down there around. There's one other one I'm trying to think of. Around, so there's one south of Tucson, Tubac. Tubac is south of Tucson. I wanted to check out that place as well. So I'm gonna try not to be building all winter. I want to still do a bunch of trips and go out and make videos. So I'm planning to do a winter Southern Arizona travel series. Go check it all out. Flagstaff is on my list in Arizona. There you go. E-bike van life. Yeah. Flagstaff is definitely cooler. Sholo has been actually pretty hot this summer. I've been here before, but I've never spent a lot of time here. And so I was expecting that it would be a lot cooler right now than it is. But that's okay. It seems like all the 100-degree days are over, but we're still getting up into the 90s. But Flagstaff is definitely a lot cooler. I have been up through there. It's a cool drive. It's really neat. Like the scenery and the trees and everything are pretty cool. Flagstaff is definitely a summer location, though, unless you're trying to be in the snow. Nothing wrong with that. But it's cold in the wintertime. Where'd my lid go? I set the lid down. Here it is. Oof, watch out. Retire Inspired says, do you ever regret not having children? Are you in a relationship? No, I don't have children or a relationship. I don't regret not having children. I might regret it when I get older. But at this time, I do not regret it. As far as a relationship goes, I'll get a girlfriend eventually. After this truck is built out. After this truck is built out, I'll probably get a girlfriend. Maybe next, I don't know when, but maybe in the next year or two. I don't know. We'll see. See what happens. At least I'll be open to it, right? Like for the past few years, I've not wanted one. I had no desire for one. Wasn't really open to it. But usually once you kind of are open to something happening, you kind of set your mind in that direction, then, you know, the universe kind of puts the pieces together. So I'm sure it'll work out in the next couple of years. And also YouTube helps, right? The hardest thing about being a nomad is meeting a person, right? So the more exposure that I have and I can meet people, especially like another YouTuber or something, then that would be cool. So maybe I'll be able to meet somebody through YouTube. That'd be fun. Arvin with Bandit says, we like coastal Northern California, Southern Oregon. Yeah, I agree. I like Northern California a lot. It's beautiful there. I do want to get property in the next few years, probably in Arizona, most likely in Arizona. It looks like the van is rocking back and forth. Well, the tripod is on a piece of like soft foam, and so the tripod is super unstable. That's the main problem. The van isn't rocking that much. It's mostly the tripod. I just rocked it a little bit. But yeah, I mean, the thing is, you're living in a vehicle on springs, right? So when you live in a vehicle, it moves a little bit, but it's not, you know, when you live in a boat, it moves a little bit, right? So it's similar, but it's not a problem. It's not a big deal. E-bike van life says, I have to rethink my travel plans for winter. Def ready to get us San Diego. Yeah, man. Southern Arizona is good for the winter. Also, you could go up the coast in California a little bit. But that's the thing is in the wintertime, besides like really Arizona and Florida is really the only places that have, good weather. Um, and obviously Southern California. But yeah, man, I'm planning to travel through Southern Arizona. There's a lot of cool smaller towns and some really beautiful places. So that's what I'm thinking about doing is a little circuit through Southern AZ, go over east, maybe into Southern New Mexico. I don't know. What camera do you use to film your videos? I use a DJI Pocket 3. It's an awesome camera. It's a total game changer. Super easy to use. It's really nice. How about a water heater? Yeah, I'm going to install an electric water heater. When are you installing lighting? Right, good question. I need to install lighting. I have Nomad Dad keeps coming through with all the gear, but Nomad Dad gave me a couple lights here that he had with him. He has so much stuff. He has like a 40-foot Class A RV. He's got the big boy, and so he gave me all these. Running them off the Blue Eddy right now. So the lighting is actually pretty easy, right? Like all I have to do is I just put trim on the ceiling and that'll cover the screws. And then I just put my LED strip lights over it. So in reality, I could install the lighting in a day. It's pretty quick. But the challenge is in order to power the lighting, I need my electrical system because the Blue Eddy Apex 300 doesn't have any low voltage ports on it. You have to, there's like this other adapter to get USB 12 volt stuff. And I didn't bring it with me. I left it in Yuma because I wasn't planning on doing a build out this summer. So I left it at my dad's in Yuma. At my dad's in Yuma, yeah. Anyway, so I can't really power my strip lights until I get that new electrical system from Blue Eddy. But this looks pretty good, right? I mean, this ain't bad. We got this guy up here, this little guy down here, this guy. This thing's pretty cool. So this is all I need. I mean, it don't take that much to be happy when you're living in a box truck. I'm good. This is all we need. It's looking bright in here. Oh, Dino made it back. Welcome back, Dino. We're just doing some Q&A. Bonnie says you have to have home and auto insurance. I only have liability insurance on this vehicle. There's no home insurance, no full coverage. That's been the story on all my vehicles. How long until the build is finished? I have no idea. End of winter. The other part of the question is a build ever really finished, right? We got a long way to go. Months, several months. All right, John C's out, heading to New Jersey. All right, John, thanks for being here, man. I appreciate you. I'll catch you on another one. Eunice Duncan, what do you think your total weight will be fully finished? That's a good question. I really have no idea. I'd like to know. In fact, there's like a dump station here that has scales. So I might try to take the truck. I might try to take the truck through the scales at the dump just to see what it weighs. I really have no idea. My max is 14,500, so hopefully I can stay under that. It shouldn't be a problem. We got Frankie and Alex in the chat. I talked to Frankie today. Frankie just installed a brand new air conditioner on his 16-foot cargo trailer. It's a mini split, but it's made by the company Out Equip Pro. You guys have probably seen them. They have a really popular, like a 12-volt rooftop AC unit, but they have a mini split now. And what's pretty crazy is the mini split, the outdoor portion of the mini split, is almost the same size as the indoor portion of my mini split. So it's very small. It's like a third the size of my unit. It's supposed to be 12,000 BTUs, but I'm a little skeptical just because of how small it is physically, right? Like when it comes to an air conditioner, generally the more surface area you have, that's how it releases heat. And so the more surface area, the more efficient the unit can be at releasing heat. So I'm a little skeptical that the unit is actually 12,000 BTUs, but I hope it is. And so Frankie's going to get back to me and let me know how it performs. I hope it works awesome. It's so much smaller that I would definitely recommend it. Mine is huge. If Frankie's works as promised, I would say that's like a game changer. Absolute game changer for air conditioning in a box truck. And it's 12 volts and it's only like 800 bucks. So it's half the price of my mini split. What will you average for water usage be for a shower? I take military showers, so I won't be using hardly any water at all. I hop in, I turn it on for 10 seconds, get everything wet, turn it off, soap up, scrub up, turn it on, rinse off. So literally, I can probably shower with, yeah, a gallon or two of water. I'm sure easily. Yeah, I'm not sitting in there just running it, thinking my thoughts. That's what Planet Fitness is for. When I go to Planet Fitness, I sit in that shower for like half an hour. I just let the water run. I think about all kinds of stuff. I take my time, you know. But in the box truck, it's quick showers. Although I do have hookups. So when I go and stay with people that have running water, like at my dad's place or whatever, then I can take longer showers. It won't be a problem. EMW Music is asking about the Starlink. The Starlink is amazing. I'm taking it with me to this box truck. So I'll be transferring it over. I love it. I absolutely recommend Starlink. It ain't cheap. It's like 150 bucks a month, but it's worth it. Yeah, there was an outage. Someone's asking about the Starlink outage. There was an outage last week. But the thing is, whatever internet you have, there's going to be an outage, right? And if you don't have Starlink, your only option is some kind of hotspot that uses cell towers. And those are very unreliable. I mean, that's all I used for the first 6 years of my van life. But it's spotty, And if you're someone that needs internet, especially if you're like working from home 40 hours a week doing Zoom calls, if you're out in the woods, you're not going to be able to do that with a hotspot. So, you got to kind of plan accordingly. If you're going to be just in a van in the city, then a hotspot is fine. But if you're going to be out traveling like in the mountains, and you rely on internet, you really need to have Starlink. Yeah, E-Bike Van Life says, I've been running my shower constantly in my rig. E-Bike Van Life, I have two questions for you. Question one, how big is your water tank, your fresh water? And question two is how long does it last you before you have to refill it? Those are my two questions. I know being in San Diego, it's easy to get water, which is nice. It's really accessible. But I'm just curious how big your tank is and how long it lasts you, because I have no idea what to expect. I've never had a shower in a rig. Real Cruz, what's up, brother? Have you been here the whole time? I just now saw you, man. Welcome to the chat. Happy to have you here. Nomadic Dreams says they're watching right now with a Starlink Mini. Happy to hear it. Do you miss Nomad Internet? Nomad Internet, it was good, but any of those services that use I gotta shut the door before the bugs come in. Any of the internet services that use cell towers, it's just a limiting factor, right? So like, Nomad Internet was good. I used them for like a year, and then I used Connecten. I used Connecten for like 6 months. That's a good internet provider, but you're just limited by your reception to a cell tower. So they're good like most of the time, but no, I don't miss it. I prefer Starlink. The only difference is that Nomad Internet was, for me, it was free versus Starlink. I got to pay 150 a month, but it's worth it. I would rather pay 150 a month for Starlink than have free Nomad Internet. 100%. Any phone-based internet. No shade on Nomad. They're great. EMW Music says, do you recommend installing I missed that. The chat's moving quick. Do you recommend installing Windows before or after the insulation and wall paneling? I do mine after because it's easier. You just cut one hole and you're done. If you do the Windows first, then when you do your wall paneling and insulation, you have to work around it and you have to like measure a bunch to cut the window opening. It's a couple extra steps. So I just do mine after, but I don't think it matters. You can do it either way. Most people do the Windows first. I'm not like most people. Frankie and Alex in the chat, he says, Alex and I can shower with 4 gallons of water. There you go. Happy to hear it. 4 gallons. So I'm going to have a 75-gallon freshwater. And if I took a 4-gallon shower, and I only shower once every like 3 days, man, I would still have so much water left. I'm excited. I'm excited for that 75-gallon freshwater. Are you concerned about your external portion of the mini split being damaged while driving? I've had so many people comment on that YouTube video for the AC install and ask me if I'm worried about it. And I assure you guys, if I was worried that my air conditioner was going to get damaged from driving, I wouldn't have put it there. Like, I can't imagine being worried about something and then just doing it. You know what I mean? Like, if I was worried, I wouldn't put it there. I would put it somewhere else. So no, I'm not worried about it. Does the birch wood have a nice smell? No, the birch wood doesn't have any smell. I wish it did. I thought about trying to do cedar on the walls to have a nice cedar smell, but I didn't want the cedar log cabin vibe, so I went with birch. But that was a thought I had, was doing cedar. We got Vito in the chat. He says, how you doing? I'm doing good, man. I'm chilling. I'm enjoying the tiny home on wheels. I'm going to do another little quick tour of the build out for you guys that came in late. I covered it at the beginning of the stream, so I'm just going to do it one more time before we wrap up for the evening. Just kind of show you guys what's up. Here we go. Nomadic Dreams says, don't worry about your AC. We did over 100,000 miles with an AC right where yours is. No damage. Thank you, man. I wasn't worried about it at all, but people in the chat, they'd be worried about it. Okay, here's a tour of the box truck. So you guys are way ahead of my Sunday published videos. Nobody is seeing any of this except for you guys tonight. And it's been 2 weeks since I've shared build progress on the box truck, because last week was my birthday broadcast and I did a stream with Larry. But here's where we at. We got birch on the floor. I built the shower stall, wet bath in the back. The entry door is narrow. Some people commented on that. But fortunately for me, I'm a narrow guy, so it's really not an issue to tuck into the bathroom. It's a 40-inch shower pan, so we got plenty of room in here to scrub up, rub-a-dub down. So plenty of room. And then what I'm doing is I'm putting at the bottom of the shower, I'm going to cut in a door for the toilet. So the toilet's on slide out. So when you want to use the toilet, you slide it out, sit down, do your business, slide it back. It has a waterproof door that closes. And so when the uh, when the toilet is closed, it's going to live in this cubby down here. What we got going on right here, this is up here countertop. So all my countertops are tall. They're bar counter height, 41 inches. So this is a countertop. And then over here, this cutout down here, this is where my refrigerator goes. So I'll have the refrigerator over here, storage underneath, some storage over here. I'm going to cut in doors and stuff later. And then this is going to be a countertop. So when you're taking stuff out of the fridge or putting stuff into the fridge, you can set it on the counter, load up the fridge. So that's what's going on here. Mini split air conditioner. I did white paneling on the ceiling. It's the same stuff I used in the Econoline. I'm super happy with it. I love how it looks and it reflects light really well. So I have 3 rows of screws. Those are going to get covered by a thin trim strip. And then my LED strip lighting goes over the top. So I'll have 3 rows of LED strip lighting. We have birch on all the walls. Now, a lot of this is going to get painted or covered up with other types of paneling. So when the build is complete, it's only going to be a hint of birch. It's going to be really tasteful. You're not going to see a lot of it. But right now, there's a lot of birch. And then right here, this is my electrical cabinet. So I got my 2 sets of solar wires coming down. Right now, I'm using the Blue Eddy Apex 300 as my all-in-one power station. But when I get the brand new one from Blue Eddy that they're just putting out, that'll be my full-scale electrical system. That'll go down here. And then I'm going to have 3 drawers on slides for all my hand tools. And then up here, I'm going to have 1 more shelf in between. So I'll have 2 15-inch cabinets. And that's where I'll keep more tools and all my solar parts. And then up top, I have another little 10-inch tall cabinet. So this whole thing, floor to ceiling, is all going to be tools and electrical and solar parts and pieces. Over to the left, this is my kitchen right here. I'm going to have 1 big window right here, 33 inches by 22 inches. Bar height countertops. I'll have an induction cooktop and a sink and another big vent hood on top. I'll have upper cabinets all the way down. And then the kitchen is going to have a little L-shaped piece that kicks out. So the kitchen goes down this way, and then it turns, and then it comes out this way. So I'll have a pretty nice little kitchen space to work and do prep. Lots of under storage cabinets here. At the very back, the last 60 inches is my Murphy bed. So it folds up, and it's only 20 inches deep. So it's shallower than the countertop. And then when it's folded up, I'll have benches down on the sides where we can sit and hang out and look out the window. And then when the bed folds down, it basically takes up that whole space. For the back door, I'm doing the fold up top, fold down deck with a huge window up top. And then moving over here, this wall here, this is going to have my flat screen TV up top. And then I'll have seating benches underneath. And then to the left of my benches, I'll have a floor-to-ceiling clothing closet. So I'll be able to hang up all my clothes, have lots of room for everything. And then to the left, I have a work desk, which is going to be about 45 or 46 inches wide. It'll be also bar counter height. I'll have 1 big window right here, overhead cabinets all the way across. I'll have some kind of slide out drawers for all my office gear and my computer stuff, my camera gear down here. And I think that's pretty much it. It's moving along nicely. I've been making a lot of progress. I did all this electrical cabinet and this whole shower stall and this little piece right here. I did all this in 2 days. So I should be able to get everything done, in a few weeks. This thing's going to be looking really, really good. I'm excited about it. So that's where we're at on the tour. I also got the little Blue Eddy AC 200, I think is what it's called. I don't know, something like that. Got Blue Eddies everywhere. About to have a big one. Coyote 313 in the chat. Glad I caught the live. Happy to have you here. EMW Music says my favorite part of the build will be when you install Nomad Dog. Yes. I can't wait to get a dog. I'm excited. Probably the spring is what I'm thinking. I want to get the build pretty much complete before I get a dog. So maybe in the springtime. Buckshots says, with all those windows, can you still be incognito in parking lots? Stay tuned to find out. We're going to find out together. EMW Music says, somebody once told me as long as your cooktop is level, that's all you really need. Yeah, you know what's funny is I never level my Econoline. And I've cooked on it super unlevel. In fact, I've had it before where I was so tilted that my skillet wanted to slide off the cooktop because I was that much of an angle. But anyway, I do plan to get leveling blocks for this build, but I prefer not to use them. So I usually am pretty good at finding level places. Not too much of an issue. But yeah, how the vehicle is parked right now, it's not level. It's sloped a little bit down towards the rear corner. So not quite level. Phil's camping reviews. Are you going to use the Blue Eddy instead of the Victron gear? Phil, go back and rewatch from the beginning of the live stream. But Blue Eddy made a brand new all-in-one inverter charger that's designed to basically be an all-in-one power system. Not like these little ones. It's meant for like RVs and van conversions. And it has dedicated 120 volt breakers and a DC power hub. So they're sending me that to test out for them. So I'm gonna install that. And if it's good, I'll keep it. And if it's not good, then I'll get a Victron system. But it would save me several thousands of dollars. Dawn Davis says, what breed will your dog be? I will get a Boston Terrier. Boston Terriers are the best. I've had two of them. One when I was a kid growing up on my farm. I had a Boston. And then my most recent dog, Lucy, she was a Boston. So that's my breed for sure. I'm going to get a third one. They're the best. We got someone from Yuma watching. Hello. Happy to have you here. Thanks. I bet it's cooling down a little bit in Yuma right now. Happy to have you here in the live stream. Someone's asking, are your water tanks custom built? No, I just bought the prefab water tanks. Or I haven't bought a freshwater tank yet, but I'll just get it on Amazon. They sell a 75 gallon. It's a couple $100, but that's what I'm planning to do. Pushy Hog, hello Fayetteville, Fort Bragg, North Carolina. Happy to have you here from North Carolina. Just got Blue Eddy 500 with two B300K batteries. Happy to hear it, man. Blue Eddy makes good stuff. Phil's Camping Reviews says, I think Victron will be better. If you want the best, you got to pay. Yeah, I agree, Phil. Victron is definitely more customizable, more programmable, and it's probably going to last longer. But I don't really care. I'm happy to try the Blue Eddy and hopefully it works. And, I was going to do a Victron because I wanted something super reliable that would be like long-term and wouldn't have to worry about anything. But I'm just going to roll the dice on the Blue Eddy, see what happens. I'm sure it's going to be fine. Keep in mind, I've been living in my Econoline with a $500 SunGold Power all-in-one inverter charger for 3 years. And it works great. And it's not had any issues. So, it's like I could buy 3 of those for the cost of one Victron inverter charger, and then I'd still have to buy charge controllers and stuff. So yeah, I mean Victron is the most expensive, and everybody likes it because it's the best. But I, you know, I'm not super concerned about that. Um, is there an alternative to Battleborn? Absolutely, yeah. I'm not a big fan of Battleborn. In fact, if you guys watch Explorist Life, he was in a contract with Battleborn for years, and so that was the only battery he could recommend. And he told me, or he didn't tell me, he said in a video that once the contract was over, he could finally talk about it, and he feels like at this point there's no reason to buy Battleborn because there's so many good Chinese battery brands like Li Time. I install Li Time for clients; they're great. I have epochs, which are super expensive, like Battleborn. They're great. I put Vaturer batteries in this rig. They're really a lot cheaper than Battleborn. They're great. I've never had expensive batteries until I got epochs because they sent them to me. But you really don't need to buy expensive batteries. If you want to buy Victron, that's one thing. I can see why people want Victron. But when it comes to the batteries, you really don't need expensive batteries. Yeah, e-bike van life is in the chat as well with his Sun Gold. He had one in his Econoline, it worked great, and now he's got one in his Kodiak, and it's working good. So it's a great unit, and you can't beat the price, 500 bucks out the door. I got a super chat from somebody, Coyote 313 with a super chat. Thank you, I appreciate you. Appreciate the donation. It's going towards the build. Okay, here. Brian Wagner says, how do you like the 6-liter LS compared to the V10? I got to tell you guys, I love this engine. I've always been a Ford man. I've owned so many Ford vehicles. Even before van life, I had an Expedition, an F-150, I had a Bronco. I've had so many Ford vehicles. But this Chevy 6-liter is awesome. Although I got to say, I don't think it's really the engine. I think it's just the gearing and possibly the tuning. I think it's the gearing on the transmission and the rear end combined with maybe the tuning and RPMs of the engine, but it is really nice. I prefer it 100% over my Econoline. One thing I noticed is in my Econoline, it feels like it shifts very frequently. It's always shifting. Same amount of gears. They're both 5-speed automatic transmissions, but the Econoline is always shifting. And this truck, it has a lot bigger power band for some reason. It's not always shifting, and I feel like whenever I need power, like and I hit the pedal down, it's there for me. So yeah, I like it. I like the 6-liter LS. It's a little smaller. My V10 is a 6.8, so it's zero point 0.8 liters smaller. But from what I can tell, it's every bit as peppy. We'll see once this thing is fully built out and loaded down with 1,000 pounds of fresh water and all my gear. We'll see how it runs. But overall, I'm super happy. I was a little nervous getting this gas engine box truck because everybody says diesel, diesel, diesel. You got to get a diesel. But this gas engine has more horsepower than its diesel counterpart. And so, there's horsepower and there's torque. It's hard to explain, but torque is like your power to pull stuff and to move large loads. And then your horsepower is like your speed or like the, speed, acceleration, that type of thing. But yeah, I don't know. I think having more horsepower rather than more torque I like it. I'm a fan. So anyway, yeah, I like the engine so far. I've been happy with it. Nomadic Dream says, I'm interested in your power station. We went with a big anchor. And so far, no regrets. 2,400 watts of solar and a 6,000 watt inverter. 2,400 watts of solar. Wow, that's a big system. Yeah, obviously I'll be making videos when I install the Blue Eddy system, but I think it's going to be pretty sweet. Did I miss a super chat from somebody? I think I got everybody. I think I got it. I got you, Coyote. I appreciate it. Thank you. Let's see. What else we got here? Bob Wells used to talk about Battleborn. I'm surprised because Bob Wells is like the budget guy, so I'm sure he didn't recommend it. He probably just said you don't need it, which is what I'm saying. You don't need Battleborn. Dino with the super chat. Thank you, Dino. I appreciate you. He says, sorry I was late. No worries, man. Happy to have you here. As long as you're here, that's all that matters. What's going behind the wall behind you? I think you mean this one here. This is going to be, the reason it's cut low is for the fridge. The fridge is going to go on this side. On the left, that's going to be a storage cabinet and then a countertop. Do you have a preferred place that you order your 12-volt lights from? I just get everything on Amazon. I mean, I know it's not the best, but I just go to Amazon for everything. Have you seen any 24-volt mini splits? I know they make them. I haven't seen one in person. What can you say about the door you closed? What do you want to know about it? You mean my screen door? What do you want to know about it? Brad, if you're not going to add the water box in front of your Mini. Yeah, I'm adding a gray water in front of the Mini. I added new mud flaps. Didn't you see my video? I added new mud flaps. They go way down the back of the tire. And then I'm having the gray water in front of it. Trust me, guys, the mini split is going to be just fine. Mini splits they're engineered to live outside. They're outdoor units. It's all waterproof. It's going to be fine. There's not going to be like a ton of water and mud splashing up from the wheel all the way to the Mini. It ain't happening. It ain't happening. Phil's camping reviews says Li timer becoming popular here. I'm testing a couple. Yeah, they're great. I've used them. Surround Dave has, or e-bike van life has Li time batteries in his rig. Adventures with Super Dave coming in with a super chat. I appreciate you, Super Dave. Keep up the good work. Thank you, sir. I appreciate it. Oh, man. All right, guys. I think that's it for me. We've been going for 2 hours. It's 8 o'clock. We started at 6 o'clock. We did a marathon stream. Huge, massive progress on the box truck build. I'm going to be moving out in a week and a half. The new buyers are coming to pick up the Econo line. So I'm going to keep busting my hump every day, getting this thing built out. So yeah, next week, who knows where we're going to be as far as progress goes, but we're going to make good progress. I'll definitely have the flooring installed. So next week, we'll have all the flooring with the trim. It's going to look really good. I'm excited for that. And I might start on the kitchen floor cabinets. Yeah, so that's it. Once I start living in this box truck again, I'll be doing more cooking videos and, you know, vlogs and stuff. So it'll be fun. We're going to have a good time. Also, you guys get to watch me struggle in an unfinished box truck without all the conveniences and features that I have in my Econo line. So anyway, that's it for me. I'll see you guys next Wednesday. We go live every Wednesday at 6 p.m. Pacific. Thank you for everyone that contributed tonight, everyone that asked questions, left comments. Thank you for all the super chats, all the regulars that came in, all the new folks that came in. I appreciate all of you guys, and I'll see you next week. This is Nomad Brad signing out. Peace.